baby. Happy Friday here from Tampa with Patty C.
Good morning, Tampa.
What's going on, Pat? How are you doing?
Feeling good, Josh, you know?
You know, I got to imagine it's a stark contrast in climate.
Small one.
Small one?
You know, I think when I left, it was about 6-7 degrees outside.
You serious?
Yeah. Oh, dude. Freezing cold. I mean,
How are you feeling so far? How long have you been down here?
I've been down here for, what, 4 days? 5
4 days?
5 days.
5 days?
Already a regular at a bar as well. That's a fun. That's a fact, dude.
I witnessed it.
Ben witnessed it. I mean, my
All right.
third day here, I sit down. This guy comes up to me and my girlfriend. He goes, "My regulars are here." Knew the orders already. I was like,
What were the orders?
Corona for me.
Okay.
And then like I forgot what she got. Yeah, like a hard
That sounds
Arnold Palmer for
delicious.
her. And I was like, I don't know if that's a good thing or like we've been here for 72 hours at this point. I don't know if this is a good or a bad thing, but you know, we'll take it. We'll take it.
That's pretty good, man. Patty C been here 4 days. He's a regular already at a bar getting his Corona. What, Corona Light, Corona Extra?
Corona Extra.
There we go.
We ain't
We're
watching
like
no
the
calories
Corona.
out here, baby. We ain't watching no calories.
And then we're on Luminaries today on the official release day. It should be pretty fun there.
I'm excited.
But Pat, man, excited to have you down here.
Thanks.
Excited to
Excited
do a
to be
little
here,
more
man.
slab talking. Excited to talk about your Dolphins later today.
Oh, we'll dive into that because we're going to the playoffs, baby.
Okay, buddy.
We're going
watch,
to the playoffs.
Come on, watch
We're
your
going to the
flippers.
playoffs.
But no, man, we're gonna do a little college football playoff, kind of put a bow on the quarterfinals. Which what do we have? Like 3 terrible games and 1 really good one. I would say.
Yeah.
We got a little bit of NFL Week 18. We got a lot of NFL Week 18 we got to get into because last week of the season, it's a big cat tweet. Only so much football you get to watch in your
I
life.
know.
There's going to be a lot of backups. There's going to be a lot of slop, but I love slop.
All right, we love sloppy football, man.
Yeah, slop
Sloppy
it up,
football,
man.
baby.
Come on. And then what else we got going on today? We got a mayonnaise story. I'm trying to remember. This is just one of those things where I got so deep into all the NFL Week 18 scenarios.
Yeah,
and I'm like, I don't even.
all your notes. I was like, oh, Josh
yeah, we got an
NFL.
NFL curse I got to tell you all about. Player incentives. I know for daily fantasy. I know fantasy football's over, but
Player
daily
props.
fantasy, player props, all that. We'll tell you what we got there. And New Year, we got to do a little New Year's, take care of some New Year's stuff today. But without further ado, Pat, we got the college football playoff yesterday. We wrapped it up in the quarterfinals.
Oh, yeah.
Georgia couldn't pull it off, 23-10. Notre Dame gets the win. Marcus Freeman. I want to start with Marcus Freeman real quick and say this is a guy that I myself have made fun of.
Of course,
because
I think we all have.
it's low-hanging fruit. The Notre Dame name, he had squandered it against Northern Illinois this season, which is one of the worst losses you can ever have.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But to go from losing to Northern Illinois and to now being in the college football playoff semifinals, doing it in, I hesitate to say dominant fashion, but
Yeah.
Notre Dame was in control of that
A
game the
win's a
entire
win.
time.
A win's a win.
23-10 against Georgia. Now, Pat, it's my understanding you're a Georgia fan.
Big Georgia fan. Football, basketball, baseball, Joshy. All 3.
First of all, how are you a Georgia fan?
Fell in love as a kid.
Fell in love with, so you're a
Fell in love as
bandwagon.
kid.
So you're a bandwagon.
Well, when I was a fan, they didn't win a championship for 46 years, Josh.
More than Taft, by the way. Well, I don't know what Taft is saying nope about.
Tafty?
Yeah, Taffy's in the building here.
Tafty.
But you're a Georgia fan, which to me is absolute
First of
crap.
all-
You're from Poughkeepsie, New York, being a
So
Georgia fan.
What school, Josh, give me the school that I'm going to be a fan of in Poughkeepsie, New York.
Marist.
Marist.
Yeah, you should be a Marist
College.
fan.
Absolutely not.
Why not?
I don't even know what division Marist is.
Dude, they're in the MAAC. Come on now, Pat.
Sienna, baby.
Yeah, there we go. Like, come on, Pat. You're just cherry picking these huge
Josh,
SEC teams.
I'll tell you this. I know
root
that-
for Temple and I root for Rutgers here, Pat. That's how it should be.
Then that sounds like a you problem here.
It is a me problem.
Every single person from around where we live, you just pick a school, all right? You should see the amount of Alabama fans that I went to school with. But hey, I'm a Georgia fan through and through. I support their basketball team, Austin Newell. Be on the lookout, Austin Newell. Top 10 recruit this year. Yeah,
okay.
Looking good. We're 12-1 in basketball. That's all I'm saying.
It's true.
Big
Okay,
time
I'll give you
baseball.
that.
Charlie Condon. I know we all know about him. But yeah, the Georgia football, man. I mean, Gunnar Stockton.
Did he play that bad, though?
Did not play that bad. But
Okay,
you
I
can-
was going to say.
They're in a situation right now because, obviously Carson Beck stinks. We could all get that out of the way right now, right? I think we can all agree there.
Dude, did you see when they showed Carson Beck on the sideline? Gunnar Stockton threw that touchdown to what's-his-face? And they panned to the quarterback. Carson Beck's sitting here like this.
Yeah,
like his puppy died. I mean, that guy is pissed off.
Yeah,
that is not a guy. If I'm an NFL scout and I'm like, I got some questions about Carson Beck, and I see his demeanor on the sideline, watching his team in the Carson Beck wanted Georgia to win yesterday. I'm convinced. I mean, I wanted Georgia to lose. Excuse me, thank you.
I agree. Especially, he's gotten a lot of slack from the Georgia fans, rightfully so. And again, I mean, he's not really a looker as well.
He's not really a looker. You saw Aaron's clip yesterday talking about Sam Levitt. So now we got to weigh in on how handsome every quarterback is.
Good-looking dude, very good-looking dude. Carson Beck, I mean, if you could throw him into the Ice Age movie, I said the Swamp, okay? This guy is, and on top of it, he can't play quarterback. So Georgia's there were two plays that really flipped the game for Georgia. Was the fumble at the end of the first half. Then Notre Dame capitalized and went up 13-3.
That was when I was in the Publix deli line. I missed that one. I was like, we're going to halftime. Let me get a ham sub, a hoagie.
I almost got thrown out of the restaurant because I was getting ready to flip the table after that fumble. And then the long play where our sideline interfered with the referee, where we were down inside the 10-yard line, which then pushed us back. Had to kick a field goal after that.
I'm so happy you brought that up.
Flipped the game. And by the way, get on the sideline, bro. You're not even in uniform. Back up.
For those who missed it, there was a walk-on quarterback, I believe, a freshman walk-on quarterback.
Was he a quarterback?
I think they said on the broadcast he was a quarterback.
He was wearing number 39.
He was wearing number 39, which is exactly what I was going to say, without any pads on.
I hope that's not our quarterback again.
Ran into the official, and it totally sucked the momentum from the UGA drive. They were going to score a touchdown. I think it was going to put them at the 11-yard line, I want to say.
It was right around the 10.
And then this kid, freshman, looked younger than Aaron, and he runs right into the referee on the sideline. They bring it back. It was like Mike Tomlin and Jacoby Jones.
Yes.
Rest in peace, Jacoby Jones, by the way.
Jacoby Jones, for sure.
Circa 2011. That was crazy to me. But, Pat, I mean, like as a Georgia fan, were you that surprised? Or, being honest, are you like, all right, in hindsight, this was kind of...
It was always tough. Gunnar Stockton, I mean, he's not... First of all, making this start in the college football playoff as
is it his first career start?
First career start as a 2 seed going up against. I mean, first of all, Notre Dame's a great 7 seed with a good defense and a good all around team.
Yeah, no,
it was going to be a tough task. He did play well, but
he played well enough. You know what I mean? For a guy making his first career college football playoff.
Go get Nico in the portal.
Get Nico
in
the portal. In the portal.
He's going to.
Is he? I can't keep track of the portal. I can't keep track of the portal. I can't keep track with this NIL stuff.
Worst rule in sports.
But neither can Doug Gottlieb, the head coach of Green Bay. I don't know if you've seen that. That's so the head coach of Green Bay men's basketball is Doug Gottlieb, a Fox Sports radio host.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think I've heard.
And they're now 2-14, I want to say. Like, it's hilarious. But that's a whole nother can of worms. College football playoff, before we go into the semifinals here, can we already say that the 12-team college football playoff was a success? Or do you still feel like it's kind of, it's just it's been very 50-50. I think that Arizona State game saved the college football playoff.
That's what I was going to say. Being the Arizona State-Texas game almost made this a success. Obviously, the first round was... We're not going to get it. The first round, there was no good games.
By the way, I know, Pat, I know you don't have the laptop out, but Chucky Roberts has just joined the building. He's getting a little
And that's going to do it for Talkin Slab today, ladies and gents. I'm out of here.
Good morning, Chuck.
Hey, Chucksters. Yeah, I mean, the weird thing is all the conference champions that got a bye. See you later. Didn't even win a game.
That's true. That's true. That's actually crazy.
No conference champion didn't win a game.
I would say that's the one thing that you're going to have to rework next season is not give the automatic bids to guys who win conference championships. I mean, conference championships should give you an automatic qualifier. Yeah. But from there, I think you should be able to be like, all right, Arizona State, they played a hell of a game. Some could say they deserved to win against Texas. They did not deserve a bid. Boise State, they did not deserve a bye. Boise State did not deserve a bye.
I mean, Georgia, arguably.
Arguably
did deserve the bye.
No, I think they did. I think Georgia deserved a bye. Yeah,
but again, they did not perform anyway, so it doesn't matter.
I'll be honest, though. I feel like the 12-team playoff was already a success because you got one close game, which I know is a pretty low bar, but you got one great game from a team that wouldn't have gotten in. Ohio State. Let's not forget. Ohio State would not have gotten into the playoffs.
That's true, and they're probably going to win the championship.
I'm pretty sure Notre Dame would also not have gotten into the playoffs.
They were 7. They were 7.
And I also feel so I feel like we have gotten the 4 best teams out of the college football playoff into the semifinals that were all not ranked the top 4. And because of that reason, I feel like I can confidently say the 12-team playoff is already a success. It wasn't sexy. Some of these games didn't look pretty. But Chuck, I think we're right. The 4 hottest teams, and I would like to sit here and make a case for Oregon after the performance they put up against Ohio State. Absolutely not. I'm confident we got the 4 best teams.
That kind of sucks for Oregon, though. I mean, you played great football all year. All it took was not even 4, just 2 quarters of bad football in your season.
Chucky's right. I agree with Chucky. Texas is mid. But my rebuttal would be, who else should be there? You know what I mean? Like, maybe I would like to see Oregon instead of Texas, but we just saw Oregon get their doors blown off by Ohio State, so I'm not going to, bang the drum and say we need to have different teams.
Some of the first teams that were left out, I mean, look at the Hurricanes. They got beat by an Iowa State team because their defense doesn't know how to play football. Alabama, they started the game down 16-0 to Michigan in the first quarter. Jalen Milroe, 3 turnovers. So who else would have went in? Those are the first 2 teams out.
Ole Miss yesterday.
Ole Miss.
Dude, Chuck, I think the local high school team over here could have given Duke a good fight yesterday. All right.
Yeah, come on here. I mean, former Duke quarterback won though yesterday.
Yeah, huh? Yeah. Pat, I give you credit, man. I thought maybe as a Dogs fan you'd be coming in here, I'm complaining a little bit, but you're owning it. You're owning up to it. I mean,
it is what it is. What am I gonna say? We got beat.
I think it was very clear that this Georgia Kirby Smart juggernaut team had taken a slight step back this year, and then you add in the Carson Beck, the Cavanagh twin nonsense here.
I think this just shows that the people do not give Stetson Bennett the respect as a college quarterback.
I think you're right.
Stetson Bennett as a college quarterback is an all-timer.
Back up, by the way. And Chuck, I don't know if you were here earlier in the week when I was doing the Gunnar Stockton deep dive. Gunnar Stockton.
That's my take on it, Chuck. Sucked.
His grandpa. Did you hear his grandpa died of a heart attack leaving a Georgia football game that went to overtime? The Stockton family lives and breathes and dies Georgia football.
Grandpa wouldn't be too happy today.
So hand up, man. I went 0-3 picking college football playoff games this week.
Really?
I laid out of the Texas game.
You listened to Connie with the Arizona State?
No, I just didn't pick that game. I said, Connie, you're crazy, but I'm not going to pick Texas. So I went Georgia because I thought their quarterback was gonna get vengeance for his grandpa.
He did not.
I went Boise State because I think Penn State's not that good. Mm-hmm. And I went Oregon because I thought they were the best team. So
I actually said Ohio State because I said it's tough to beat the same team twice, especially a team like Ohio State. They were gonna come out angry that game.
They did, man. They did. I gotta say, I hate Chip Kelly, but tip my cap. It was men against boys in the coaching box in that game. Oh, yeah. But Patty C, looking at the bracket now, are you gonna go Ohio State?
Ohio State, Notre Dame.
Ohio State, Notre Dame. I think that's the pick. I think that's a consensus pick without a doubt.
And Ohio State's going to take it all. They're just too loaded at the skill positions. I'm not a big fan of Howard, the Kansas State transfer, but
I just don't know where this was all season from them. Like, they've been good. They were a really good team this season. I bet them a couple times. What's that?
Lost to Michigan.
I thank you, because I've been saying that. The loss to Michigan, best thing that happened to Ohio State. A lot of people have disagreed. It lit a fire. It woke them up. They really went back to the lab. I can't pick against you. I can't pick against you. I'm going to go same thing.
That was I know. I mean, I like Drew Aller a lot.
I do not. I do not like Penn State. I don't like James Franklin.
I hate James Franklin. Thank you. Yeah, I cannot stand James Franklin.
He knows the spread. He cares more about covering the spread for the boosters and shaking the hands of the boosters.
Just something about him. I'm just like, like when they show him and he starts talking, I'm like, all right, dude, like I hate you. I don't like you. I'm not a fan.
But that's going to put a bow on the college football playoff next week. I was in bed last night looking up tickets to get to Miami or something like that to see the college football playoff next week, Thursday in Miami, and then Friday in Dallas. So I was like, how do I get there? I'm trying to figure it out.
It's sad that they continuously book games for January in Hard Rock because they know the Dolphins will not be using the stadium.
Well, let's get into it. Week 18 in the NFL, Patty C. We got all the playoff scenarios laid out, all right? Let's start by taking a step back, a macro view of Week 18 in the NFL, starting with Saturday. So tomorrow we got two football games. Browns-Ravens at 4:30 and the Bengals-Steelers at 8 o'clock. Have you seen the spread on the Browns-Ravens game, Pat?
I have not.
19.5. Easily the biggest spread I've seen all season. Ravens win. They clinch the AFC North and the 3 seed in the AFC. Based on what Vegas is telling you, that should happen. I was trying to do some research. From what I can tell, if the Browns win this game tomorrow on a 19.5 point spread, it would be the biggest upset in NFL history. I think the biggest upset in NFL history was Joe Namath in the Super Bowl. They were 18-point underdogs when they won the Super Bowl.
Want to know a fun fact about that game?
Tell me.
That game set up the Dolphins franchise for 20 years.
What was that?
Don Shula was That is the game that strained the relationship between Don Shula, who was the coach of the Baltimore Colts at the time,
Really?
and
That's
the owner,
awesome.
because it was such a big upset. Miami swooped in with a lucrative offer. Rest is history, baby.
That's actually awesome.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That is a fun
Yeah.
fact. So
And we got called for tampering on that, by the way. So we did lose our first round pick in 1971, but we won the Super Bowl the next year, so it does not matter.
You got to give credit to the NFL in 1970. You think what did the carrier pigeons come over and be like, yeah, no, they got Shula early. Like, I don't know how the hell they figured that out. But it's simple as that. Ravens win. They're 3 seed AFC North. They're done. If somehow the Ravens lose and we see the biggest upset in NFL history on the money line,
Don't
against the
be
spread,
surprised. I mean, nobody thought Ryan Fitzpatrick and the Dolphins would beat
Get
those
outta here.
Patriots. Speaking of that, Chiefs, you owe us for that game still. I'm just saying, getting you guys that 1 seed that year for beating the Patriots. You guys can return the favor, beat the Broncos.
That was also on the list of biggest upsets of all time, by the way. I saw that
was
one.
it?
Yeah. I saw that when I was doing my
That was a
research on
crazy
this.
game. I was a little upset. I wanted a better draft pick, but it's all right.
If the Ravens lose, Steelers win, clinches Pittsburgh and AFC North. That's probably not going to happen. And then Bengals, obviously, against the Steelers. The Bengals have to win to stay alive in the AFC wild card. If the Bengals lose, they're out of it, all right? Sunday, Chargers, Rams, Packers, Commanders. They are all locked into the playoffs. They can go up, they can go down in the seeding, but they're all locked in the playoffs. Don't really care about that.
No.
Panthers, Falcons, Saints, Buccaneers.
Those are two big ones. NFC South on the line still.
Very simple. Bucks win, they're in. They get the 4 seed, but they can leap up to the 3 seed depending on the Rams losing or not. The Bucks lose and the Falcons win. Falcons win the NFC South. They're locked into the 4 seed. Vikings and Lions. Sunday Night Football. The greatest close to an NFL season in the history of the league. That's not a hyperbole. I mean, that's really a fact. You have never seen this before in the NFL
Somebody's
history.
getting screwed.
14-2 versus 14-2.
Somebody's getting
to win the
screwed.
NFC North. Whoever loses this game is going to be the first wild card team in NFL history to have 13 or more wins, Pat. Win?
That's ridiculous considering you look at the NFC South. You're going to have a 9-win team hosting a playoff game. And a 14-win team going on the road. That's crazy.
And you can't penalize. You can't penalize teams for winning their division.
No,
so I don't think
absolutely
this isn't a matter of like, oh, they need to change the rules.
No.
This is
It's
just
crazy.
Yeah.
It's just insane.
When you win the division, get a bye, lose, you're in the wild card, like you said, would be absolutely nonsense. But we'll put a pin in all of that. And what I want to start Week 18 looking at with my guy Patty Cerniglia. How do you say it? Cerniglia. Is the Dolphins,
Snoop!
the Bengals, and the Broncos.
Come on.
Because, look, the NFC, we're going to talk about this Lions-Vikings game. I am stoked for that game.
Yeah.
But I want some madness this weekend,
Oh, you'll
Pat.
get it. You'll
I
get it.
like how the NFL did the schedule. Because no matter what happens in the Bengals and the Steelers game on Saturday,
Doesn't matter.
we're going to have a lot to watch on Sunday at
4:25.
4:25, my friend.
I got 2 TVs ready.
Oh,
all right?
man,
I
thinking-
need side by side too.
So let's break it down. For those who might, it's been the holidays, New Year's, you're going back to work. For those who have not been able to keep track of it, this is the scenario. The Broncos play the Chiefs at 4:25. If the Broncos win, they're in.
Yep.
They get the 7 seed. Bo Nix, woohoo! Sean Payton. Everyone's going crazy in Denver. Hats off to them.
Absolutely. Yep.
Meanwhile, at the same time, the Dolphins are going to be playing the New York Jets. Oh, the lowly New York Jets.
Damn Jets.
And if the Broncos somehow do lose against the backups of the Chiefs, the Dolphins can win and make the playoffs.
They were 2-6
Which is-
at one point, ladies and
that's-
gents. They were 2-6.
That is nuts to me, Pat. That's nuts to me that the Bengals and the Dolphins each have a chance this
That's
weekend.
insane.
Here's the deal, though. It's backup mania this weekend all around the NFL. For most of these teams,
Yeah.
backups are playing either A, because their quarterback is injured and they don't really want to rush him back, like the Saints.
The Dolphins.
Well,
Tua's got the hips of like a 95-year-old woman, so.
for some of these other teams, they're already locked in the playoffs. It doesn't matter. But for the Dolphins, Tua, who they had to bring him out of the nursing home halfway through the
Wheel him
season,
out.
said, Tua,
I mean,
come on,
he
save
got
our
us
season.
he did save our season.
And you know what? You're right. Tip your cap to Tua.
He did
saved
save
the
our
season.
season.
But this is Mike McDaniel's quote from a couple days ago. I'm approaching it as though I think Snoop Huntley is starting today. He said this on Wednesday. Obviously, the team, it's very easy for us to adjust as the week progresses, but I think you have to approach it a certain way, and it's an easy adjustment that we're definitely open-minded to considering our timeline last week. This is in reference to a last-minute switch to Tua Tagovailoa in case he becomes healthy. But long story short, Tyler Snoop Huntley is going to be starting for the Dolphins with a chance for the playoffs on the line. How do you feel, Pat, as a Dolphins fan?
I hate it. And this is, I mean, you knew we were getting into it when you drafted the kid, okay?
Tua?
I mean, you knew what you were getting into. The fact that this team's inability to build a line and get a good backup quarterback, because again, Snoop Huntley, yes, he played great against the Browns, but you got to go. If you go back and look at those first few games he started, it was not good. I mean, look what Drew Lock just did to the Colts, okay? Same Colts team. Tyler Huntley put up 10 points. All right. So it is not even close. They need to fix the backup quarterback situation. But he showed me a little bit last week.
Man.
As a Dolphins fan, this sucks because I hate it. It's constantly happening. False hope every single year. False hope every single year. Now I have to watch a win or go home game with Tyler Snoop Huntley, former Pro Bowler.
Former Pro Bowler, yeah. Same with Mac Jones there, Pat. Same with Mac Jones.
Let me have this one, Josh. Let me have this one, baby.
22 of 26 for 225 yards and a touchdown last week from your boy Snoop Huntley.
32 rushing yard.
Not bad.
Too.
Not bad. Gotta tip my cap. So I'll be honest, what do you think? Win or loss? Simple as that. The line is set at 1, I want to say. Dolphins are favored. As a Fins fan, what do you think? They win this game?
If history ever repeats itself, then no.
Really?
Yeah, last time we had to play the Jets for a spot to go to the playoffs, Geno Smith decided to have a perfect passer rating, throw for like 5 touchdowns. So, they're starting Rodgers, right? That's already announced?
They are starting Rodgers.
Okay, we're good there because Tyrod Taylor's best 3 career games, all against the Dolphins when he was a Bill.
Really?
Go look up his best career games. I guarantee you 3 of the top 5 are against the Dolphins. It's disgusting.
Kryptonite, Fins kryptonite. Mike McDaniel doesn't know how to
90%
stop
of the
him.
NFL is the Fins kryptonite, I think.
Ben, you got that Aaron Rodgers video pulled up if you don't mind? Because this was there was a clip going viral this week about Aaron Rodgers. He was kind of doing like a end of season interview in the locker room.
Season's not over.
Yeah, but if you were getting end of season vibes. And there was one clip that was going viral. I don't want to play that one, but the one clip going viral was saying my time in New York was the best 2 years of my life. You know, what can I say?
You don't gotta lie.
Really wanted to get things done. Like,
You don't gotta lie.
Best 2 years of my life playing for the New York Jets. But the other question that they asked Aaron Rodgers was, if he had thought about this game being his last career game potentially in the NFL.
I think there's not a chance he's playing next year.
Did
anybody watch him play this year?
You don't think Aaron Rodgers could play in the NFL next season? You don't think there's a team like the Las Vegas Raiders who need a bridge quarterback to sell some tickets? A potential, Minnesota Vikings weird world where McCarthy's hurt and they get a sweet
what do you
deal.
Think, this is Brett Favre situation again?
It could be, Pat. Pat, why couldn't it be? He's following the same exact
that is true.
career arc. They're both nutcases. They're both gunslingers.
I'm pretty sure that Brett Favre's last game as a Jet. Was that against Miami too? Last week of the season when they lost the division? I'm almost positive because I was there.
That's a sicko memory right there. But Ben, if you don't mind, this is Aaron Rodgers talking about, they asked him, could this be your last game in the NFL? This is what Rodgers had to say. I love this man. Yeah, he has. All right, Ben. Thank you for that one.
Good. Get this guy all hyped up for his last career game. Now he's going to throw 5 touchdowns on the Dolphins.
Bingo! That is exactly what I'm saying, Patty. This is either one of two things. I am sorry, Pat. I love you, buddy. I'm happy you're here. I really, me and Pat have put down a few of the Rochester Red Wings game. But I am so ready to dunk on the Miami Dolphins this weekend, man. If you don't think that Aaron Rodgers is going to come out Sunday and just kind of calmly strut in, Oh yeah, but real gratitude. The game's given me a lot, but I'd like to think I've gave a lot back to it. Watch out! Bullet on the sidearm right through this Mike McDaniel defense, man. Aaron Rodgers is either going to have a last dance to remember, a 300-yard, 5-touchdown game, say Woody Johnson, a little bleep you to your draft pick one more time, or
Just for good mojo, we're getting.
get it out of here.
We can't have that. We can't have that.
This is what I'm thinking. He pops off, and now another team's saying, well, maybe we could use Rodgers next
He's
season.
playing. In my personal opinion, I think he's playing for a job next year.
He's either
If he
playing
comes
for
out-
a great lasting memory or playing for a job
If he
next year.
comes out and stinks up the field, I mean, even Davis is gonna be like, I'm not touching that one, dude. As much as I like throwing money around,
think
I'm
you're
a
right
Davis
about
guy.
that.
I am not touching Rodgers.
And the large says to Rodgers to the Vikings confirmed. I mean,
Vikings have a serious question on their hands this offseason.
I could have put the Darnold question on the show sheet every single day. I'm
Because
saving
there's
that for the
no way
offseason.
they're gonna bring in another
It's
quarterback.
crazy.
You got, I mean, I won't say it, but JJ McCarthy's not gonna be anything.
I don't know. I'm
I'm
man.
the conductor of the JJ McCarthy hate train. The
Lord,
conductor.
The Lord says he ruins the next franchise he goes to if he does. Yeah, I mean, from a culture standpoint, potentially.
Garrett Wilson is done.
Yeah.
Garrett Wilson says if he
He's
comes back,
ruined Garrett
I'm out.
Wilson,
And
yeah.
if, I mean, again, we are talking about the Jets here. If they go there and they're like, we're gonna bring Rodgers back and trade Garrett Wilson, that one jet drive will burn to the ground. Jets fans will not be happy
I think
about
your
that
apartment
one.
complex will burn to the ground because you're living
Oh.
with Conlon and Jason in there.
Oh, you don't
so
think the
they'll burn
first thing
to
I'm
the ground.
doing?
Yeah, fellas.
Boys, what happened?
So, all right. So, even Pat, even the Dolphins fan, he comes in here, by the way, pre-show, and he's like, Finn's going to win this weekend. And then I ask him for real on the show, and he's like, I'll be honest, man. I don't feel too good about it.
I'm still picking the Finns, baby.
All right, whatever you say,
Who am
Pat.
I pick the Finns against anybody because that's just the type of guy I am.
You know what? I respect that, but you're also, you also have that fan negativity, that fan realism of being like, listen, I've watched the Dolphins for a while. They don't win this game.
Oh, my girlfriend can tell you I sit down at 1 o'clock. I'm like, yeah, we're going to lose today.
There you go. That's the spirit. That's the
We're gonna lose
spirit.
today.
Hey, a little Corona extra, baby.
Oh, I need those.
So-
Watching the Dolphins, you put a couple down.
So the Jets, we have the Jets winning this game. So then it all comes down to a very simple 425 game. Broncos and Chiefs. You win and you're in if you're the Broncos, right? Oh, the Chiefs, they're 16-1. Or 15-1, excuse me. 15-1. They're locked into the 1 seed, win or lose. Andy Reid has already said, we are resting our starters. There is nothing we have to play
Carson
for.
Wentz to the rescue, baby. Come on.
9.5 points is the spread, I believe, last I checked. Bo Nix and these Broncos nearly beat these Chiefs with all the starters playing. Should have beat the Chiefs, wager I say. It was 16-14, and the Chiefs blocked the field goal to win the game.
Yep.
So this should be easy, shouldn't it? Right, Pat? Hold that thought. Andy Reid in games where he's rested all the starters, there's 4 instances, he's 2-2. And he was almost 3-1. Ryan Suckup missed a 40-yard field goal on one of those games where he was resting all the starters. So Andy Reid does a very good job when he's coaching with nothing
Best
to
coach in
lose.
football, baby.
Also, talking about guys playing for their career, talking about guys playing for their jobs. Carson Wentz, he's not gotten an opportunity really this season. He has not gotten an opportunity really since playing in Indianapolis. Now, granted,
rightfully so.
he looked terrible in Indianapolis.
Awful.
So, listen, this game means nothing to the Chiefs, right? The Broncos should roll, right?
I guess. I mean,
Wrong, man. Absolutely wrong.
set me up there, Joshy.
Ben, do you have the highlights ready of Carson Wentz in his game last season? Because Carson Wentz for the LA Rams in Week 18 played against, I believe, the San Francisco 49ers. Here is the highlight reel from Carson Wentz's Week 18. Look at the throws that Wentz is making. And this is a guy who has been totally counted out in the league. Wentz, look at this dime. Ooh, how does he fit that ball in there? Carson Wentz, absolute masterclass in Week 18 against the 49ers. You think this game means nothing to the Chiefs? Think again. I just look at how he throws that ball in there. Even the announcers in the clip are like,
I need that MVP season Wentz.
look at this Wentz. 3-step drop. Oh, that's a Burrow-esque, that's a Mahomes-esque improvisation flip play. Oh, here, I think this one's my favorite, I believe. Oh yeah, for the win. Down by 7. Just barrel your way through in there. Show off the mobility.
Jack out
Dude,
there. Look at
that's
that
what
speed.
I'm talking about. Joe Burrow could do it, Jada Daniels could do it, Carson Wentz could do it, and they think, oh, it's week 18, this game means nothing. They're not going to go for the win, are they? Oh, they are. Carson Wentz takes it, flips it over. How does he fit it in there?
I'm all in. They're winning.
Chiefs money line this weekend.
I love it. Dolphins going to the playoffs.
Are going to win this game against the Broncos. I am not a Bo Nix believer. I am not a Sean Payton believer. The better quarterback in this game plays for Kansas City, and his name is Carson Wentz.
I don't know about all that one there,
Come
Jossie,
on now,
but
Pat.
I agree with you that I do not like Sean Payton. But if they do not make the playoffs, what a collapse. What a late season collapse by the Broncos to not make the playoffs.
I don't know if you can, and don't get me wrong, Pat. It would be a collapse if the Broncos don't make the playoffs.
Still a good season.
But that's what I was going to say. I do think if you take a step back, especially if you're a Broncos fan, you'll be disappointed. But give it a week. Yeah. Give it a week. Brush your teeth out. Get that sour taste out of your mouth. You will look back on the season and say, hell yeah. Because I have friends that are Broncos fans, and they were expecting to go 4-13 this season.
I mean, that's great. They have a roster.
They're starting tight ends like Adam Troutman. You know what I mean?
Troutman's a dog.
Adam Troutman's a dog. Get the hell out of here, Pat. I think, and don't get me wrong, this is really just what I want, and I've talked myself into this. I want the Bengals in the playoffs.
I do not.
I put the parlay together.
Dude,
here,
that game will literally score. If they played the Bills in the first round, that game will be
53 to 50 or
49,
something like that. Give it to me.
Because Joe Burrow will light them up. And I mean, Josh, you could probably go out there and play quarterback against the Bengals defense. Oh my goodness, dude.
You see the size of my hands? They're smaller than Pickett's.
I mean, Joe Burrow should be pissed because he's the MVP this year.
If his
defense was average and they had a playoff spot, he would be the MVP this year because he's been putting up crazy numbers, but it does not matter because he has to put up crazy numbers. He's got to score 50.
So I do want to give out some bets later, but for now, I just want to throw this one out there. The Bengals to make the playoffs parlay. Bengals money line, Jets money line, Chiefs money line. Plus 1769 is what I got it at last night.
I hate it.
I know. I can't help myself, Pat.
We're not losing to the Jets.
Yeah.
It's just not going to happen.
All right.
Sorry, Cincinnati. We ain't losing. We're not losing.
I'll see you on Monday, Pat. This will be a fun time on Monday.
I think I'm back on Monday.
I know. I think so, too.
Oh, if the Dolphins lose and I'm here on Monday, I'm going, I need like a 10-minute block for a rant because I'm going crazy.
I'm sure I'll talk to them.
And especially if the Broncos lose and we lose, I'm going on a 10-minute rant. Oh, I'm calling for jobs.
I can't wait,
I'm calling for jobs, and you might be surprised whose jobs I'm calling for. That's all I'm saying.
All right. I'll hold you to it.
I will.
We'll roll the film. So the biggest game this weekend, obviously, Vikings versus Lions, Sunday Night Football. Before you look at who will win this game, I think the question I want to ask is who needs this game more, Pat?
The battle of misfit toys, huh? 2 first-round quarterbacks that their teams did not want, shipped them off.
That's true.
First round,
think about that.
Number 1 pick, Jared Goff, shipped off from the Rams, and obviously Sam Darnold, been bounced around a little bit. Jets fans look away. I told him not to give up on him that early, but dude, this game's gonna be a good one. I think the Vikings are taking this one 100% though.
Okay.
Vikings are gonna take it.
In Detroit.
Lions are banged up defensively, and I think we're starting to see the leaks in their defense, and it's starting to show a little bit with those injuries. I mean, Brock Purdy just lit them up like the 4th of July, and the week before, Brock Purdy couldn't even light up the Dolphins' defense.
I mean, look, the thing is, though, you're right about Brock Purdy lighting them up, and I took note of that because I don't think the 49ers offense is very good right about now.
It's not. They're not even...
But the Lions won that game. The Lions put up 40.
They always find a way. Shout out to Dan Campbell, former Dolphins interim head coach.
I can't believe I'm saying this because I have said the Vikings are frauds all season. I have refused to call the Vikings Super Bowl contenders. But I think I'm going to take the Vikings also in this game. Now, I might not bet on that. I don't think I'm going to put my money on it. I'm not that confident. But I think the Vikings are going to win this game because you're finally seeing a team that might have the defensive firepower that can slow down the Lions' offense. And then on the flip side of that coin, I think this Vikings offense, who I'm still a little bit questionable about, against this Lions defense,
they'll put up points.
They're going to put up points. And I don't think this is a situation where, look, I give a lot of credit to Detroit. Shout out Benji. The Detroit fan base there at home is a scary place to play.
Oh,
But
yeah.
Sam Darnold, what is he afraid of at this point? He has seen the lowest of lows. It's kind of like, who's going to stop us now if you're the Vikings?
He's about to see a nice paycheck this offseason as
Dude,
well.
100%. No matter what happens with Sam Darnold,
No.
we know he's going to see a nice paycheck this offseason. I do think also the Vikings need this game more. There was an ESPN article that said they polled players, where do you hate playing the most? Where are the toughest places to play? There was a tier 1. Minnesota Vikings were in that tier 1 of places to play.
I heard 1 p.m. game in Minnesota are trash.
What do you mean?
Yeah, that's just the hard place to play. It's like the
I thought you meant
like Colts at 1 p.m. at home.
Yeah.
They love to win at 1 p.m. at home, but
I thought you meant it was just like a bad environment.
oh no, like they bring like the 1 p.m. energy in Minnesota. It's just crazy.
But look, don't get me wrong. I think both these teams have some of the best home field advantages in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
The Lions, to me, because of their offense and because of their ability to keep things going, I think they can win away from home. The Vikings, on the other hand, if they're on the road versus on the home, I am terrified. As an Eagles fan, if the playoffs run through Minnesota, I feel like I'm more afraid of the playoffs running through Minnesota than Detroit.
You got to get your quarterback on the field.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's true. That too. But I just think this game is more important to the Vikings. The Lions, in my opinion, deserve it more. They've been the better team all season.
They've been probably the best team in football
Right.
all season.
But at this point in the year, I do think it's more important for the Vikings that they win the game. Because if the Vikings are on the road, I think they would look a lot more different.
I agree.
So kind of on that note, though, Pat, if you lose, you don't get a bye.
Nope.
You're going to be playing on the road.
Against an NFC South champion, most likely.
Do you think a loss for either of these teams is like a death sentence? Or is there still a good path to the Super Bowl even if one of these teams lose?
It's a good question. Let's see.
Do
They
the
would have to
mental
go to
math.
Philly, right? In the second round?
Yeah, you'd have to go through Philly more likely
than
than not.
you'll be going to Philly. Dude, honestly, you might see this as a rematch in the NFC Championship game.
You're saying you can see a Vikings-Lions NFC Championship game?
I can 100% see it because I think both these teams, again, assuming the Rams stay in the 3 and the NFC South champion stays in the 4, I think both these teams would, again, we're in Tampa, I shouldn't say this too loud, mop up duty against both those teams. In my
Really?
opinion.
I think the Bucks have a shot,
but
yeah,
I don't think they'll be able to beat Minnesota or Detroit. And then the Eagles, I mean.
Not sold, Pat? Not sold on the Birds?
I'm not sold on the Birds.
Okay.
I love Saquon. But I think if you can shut Saquon down and you force Jalen Hurts to have to drop back 30 to 35 times, you can beat that team. You can 100% beat that team. We don't even know. We won't see Hurts again until
Hurts is fine.
He's got that concussion. He's going to be a little rusty getting back on that field. Take it from me. When my quarterbacks came back from about 5 of them.
My quarterback didn't go into rigor mortis when he got his concussion. He was begging the team to play. He had a minor concussion. All right?
That's because he had a concussion before that play as well.
Jalen?
That was his second. Yeah.
Or Tua?
Oh, yeah. Jalen, 100%.
I don't know where you're getting your news,
100%.
Pat.
Look it up.
Anyways, the loss being a death sentence, I don't think it is. I think whichever team loses in this game is very live to make a run, and I like what you're saying.
Maybe an Ohio State type of thing where it wakes up a beast.
I think both these teams, though, they're already beasts. There's no beasts that need to be woken up. I just think these are good teams that can go on the road, especially with the kind of the Rams don't scare me. Bucks don't really scare me. The home field advantage doesn't scare me.
That's the team that's going to be playing a little bit of a bracket buster, if you will.
I agree, but it's
they're
not like I'm
getting
saying
the love that they deserve. I don't think
it's not like I'm saying, oh no, the Lions have to play the Rams. I'm not going to say, oh no, the Vikings have to play the Rams. I think a loss, but either of these teams will have a good chance. Now on the flip side, which other of these teams wins on Sunday night will be 15-2. That will give us 2 15-win teams this season in the NFL.
that's crazy.
No team in NFL history has ever won 15 games in the regular season and gone on to win the Super Bowl. I just learned the stat this week. Blew my mind. How is this possible? That you could be the best team in the regular season and they have never won. That we've had the 16-0 Patriots in 2007, the 15-1 Panthers in 2015, 15-1 Packers in 2011, 15-1 Steelers 2004, 15-1 Vikings 1998, 15-1 Bears in 1985, and the 15-1 49ers in 1984. 7 teams in NFL history have won 15 regular season games. None of them have won the Super Bowl. We're going to have two this season. Chiefs or the Vikings and the Lions.
How many of those made it? You said none of them won it. How many of them made it to the Super Bowl?
Come on now. I didn't do that
I
much.
know
don't
the Packers, they bounced first round.
Yeah,
that
to
year.
the Giants.
The Panthers, I don't think they
Panthers
won.
made it to the Super Bowl. I know that.
And then
They lost to the Broncos. Yep,
the Patriots made it to the Super Bowl, lost to the Giants. That is a crazy stat.
I couldn't tell you. I couldn't
that.
tell you anything past
Bears. Wait, the Bears. Oh yeah.
So, all right. First things first. Do you believe in the power of a curse?
Well, now that you said, I didn't even know that was a thing. So
Right?
if you didn't say that, it would have never even crossed my mind. Apparently, I'm not sold on the curse, especially now. I mean, all those teams have 0-1 loss as well. These teams got 2 losses.
It's
so
true.
Yeah, a little
First
bit different.
15-win team in the 17-game
If
era.
I'm looking at it as one of the fans of those teams, like, but they had 1 loss. We
Yeah,
had 2.
yeah,
so,
yeah.
it doesn't count. It doesn't count for us.
If you're the Chiefs, though, you might go 16-1.
That counts.
That counts. Okay.
That counts.
Just gotta fit the narrative. I just thought that was absolutely wild,
That is
man.
wild.
I found this stat a couple days ago, and I just couldn't believe it. And now we haven't had any 15-win teams since 2015. Now for 9 years, we're getting 2 in the same year, which is wild to me. I am very curious to see if the curse holds this weekend, this playoffs. But I guess we'll just have to find out. So we're both on the Vikings. Very
Vikings,
scary.
yeah.
Don't like that. I think the Lions are the better team all season. But right now, you can't argue with the Vikings and that defense, especially on the road. I can't believe we're both taking the Vikings.
I know, yeah, that's kind of.
It feels icky,
it's
but I
just
think
it's the injuries. It's
man.
the injuries.
Enough
that's
is enough.
Literally it.
We got a lot of player incentives this weekend, Pat. A quick rundown of what we got going on. So for the Buccaneers have 2 big incentives. Mike Evans needs 5 receptions and 85 yards. If he hits those, Mike Evans will get $3 million worth of bonuses.
You know he's in Baker's year, like, I need 5 for 85 this
Well,
weekend.
Baker's with the man, because Baker needs to finish top 10 in yards per attempt, which I don't even know exactly. I know he's teetering on that. I think he just needs to have a good game.
Yeah, just
very weird
throw the ball
stat.
down the field. Every pass is a fly route.
I'm thinking, now I haven't looked at, I didn't put exact bets, but based on that logic, I'm thinking Baker, longest completion.
Yep.
Mike Evans, longest reception. Take those overs this
Yeah.
weekend.
He's gonna be
Baker
feeding
gets
Mike.
$500,000 if he gets top 10 in yards per attempt. Mike Evans, $3 million. I believe it's 1,000 receiving yards and 70 receptions for Mike Evans to get those.
I mean, that man is first ballot all the way across the
100%.
across the board.
Your boy Geno Smith needs 186 yards for $2 million. A win for Geno gets him another $2 million. So Geno
Seahawks
Smith,
money line, I got it.
Bingo, going against the
Got it,
Rams who are
got
resting
it.
starters.
Yeah.
So Geno Smith just needs to throw 186 yards and get a win to get $4 million. It's not like we're talking about $100,000.
Yeah, no, that's
$4 million for Geno Smith just for having a decent game against a team resting his starters.
185 that should be light work.
Cortland Sutton needs 82 yards to get $500,000 with the Broncos.
How many yards you said?
82 yards. Very doable. It's going to be
That's
tough.
very doable.
I didn't pull up his line. I don't like betting incentives because Vegas knows these incentives.
Yeah, they
and they
100%
totally screw
know
you
the
with the
incentives.
lines. But I just think it's fun. And Josh Sweat needs 2 sacks for $1 million. Not sure
That's
if he's
a little
gonna
bit
play.
tougher, yeah.
Zach Ertz needs 2 touchdowns, 9 catches, 90 yards to get $750,000. Commanders don't have a ton to play for, so I think that would be interesting if you
Force
want
him the football on the goal line, baby.
if you want to ladder it up, go Zach Ertz, 2
Yeah.
touchdowns this weekend. And then Marcus Valdez-Scantling needs 1 touchdown for $250,000. Is he on the Jets? I don't
No,
even
they
know.
got rid of him.
Chiefs?
I don't know.
I can't keep track.
I stopped paying attention when he played for the Packers and fumbled in overtime and lost me my bet. So I've been a hater ever since.
I got to respect that. Playing the long game there with the
long
MVS
game.
hate.
Oh, yeah.
But I just thought, I always think those are fun, Patty. Just those incentives.
Mm-hmm.
But on that note, let's get into it from the old gambling perspective
Uh-oh.
here. You got any picks this weekend? A couple best bets. I already gave out my favorite, my Bengals to make the playoffs
I hate that
parlay.
bet, by the way.
Around plus 2,000.
Because I'm going Finn's money line.
You're going Finn's money line?
I'm going Finn's
Okay.
money line. I mean,
Snoop Huntley.
Snoop Huntley for the win. I mean, come on. Let's do it. The Jets are absolutely trash. They're playing for draft positioning. Aaron Rodgers absolutely stinks. He's 50 years old. Get him his AARP card. Dolphins by 50.
Yeah, okay. Pat, you 20 minutes ago you said the Dolphins are going to lose the game. Now all of a sudden you're
flipping
saying
it,
Dolphins
baby.
by
I
50.
don't, dude, there's no. If they lose to the Jets, they will need to fire their head coach, their GM, and find a new quarterback who can play in the big situations. That's where I'm at with that.
All right, we'll get there when we get there. Monday could be fun. Monday could be a lot of fun. I'm going Bengals minus 1.5 against the Steelers. Two things are true. One, I think the Steelers, I don't want to say broken. I just think the Steelers are not playing great football. Specifically, Russell Wilson's not playing great football.
Now, that game is after Baltimore game, correct?
Yeah.
Now, if Baltimore wins...
Baltimore wins the game means nothing for Steelers.
It means nothing.
Yeah, nothing for the Steelers. So that's why I'm taking get Bengals minus 1.5
But again,
now.
their backup's pretty good.
Who's your backup? Oh, Justin Fields?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. They might play Russell Wilson regardless.
You think?
It's just, yeah, I think they would. They try to get him. And then if not, Justin Fields, show me what you got. If you play better, we might have a controversy on our hand going into the playoffs. But what I do think, it doesn't matter about who's playing quarterback. TJ Watt might get sat down, you know? And this is just me reading
He should.
Mike Tomlin never said this. I want to be very clear. This is me figuring it out. If the Ravens win, I imagine you sit down guys like TJ Watt.
Yeah.
You get the Bengals at minus 1.5 now. This is still AFC North football. Mike Tomlin and the Steelers are not going to want to let the Bengals win this game. I guarantee you that. But I love how the Bengals are playing. I'm going to take them minus 1.5. Easiest bet in the entire slate, in my opinion. Chiefs plus 10.5.
Oh, yes.
I'm taking them on the money line at plus 475.
That might be a little crazy, but the plus 10.5, especially with the hook, man.
You
especially
saw
with the
that
hook.
Carson Wentz highlight tape in a meaningless game last season. He had Sean McVay's quarterback. Now he's got Big Red Andy Reid, who is
baby.
2-2 in games where he rests his starters in games that mean nothing. Give me the Chiefs this weekend. Pat, you got anything else you want to take?
Chargers. Love the Chargers. They still got a little bit to play for here. They're playing the Raiders. Raiders literally keep screwing themselves with draft position. I feel like they finally got the message now. Like, hey, maybe we shouldn't win, so we can probably not have this situation again next year.
You know what? That's a good point because I actually was on the different page. Like when I went down to do my research from week 18 and get some bets together, I said to myself, I don't think I'm gonna do too much this weekend. I'm looking at the slate and I'm like, I'm making all these motivation angles, and one of them I do have, Pat, is the Raiders. I'm kind of thinking this. Harbaugh was very cheeky, is the word I would use, in terms of if he was going to play his starters or not. Let me just say, before this, I was working at the radio station. Part of my job was cutting up press conferences. I had to listen to every press conference. I have mastered the art of coach speak, Pat.
Coach speak.
The Chargers aren't playing their starters this weekend, Pat. I am telling you that right now.
They'll still win
I don't
the
think
game.
the Chargers are going to play their starters.
They'll still win the game.
I think Antonio Pierce is playing for pride. Aiden O'Connell is a good quarterback, I think. I'm going with the Raiders.
He's a what?
He's a good quarterback
He's a
as far
what?
as backups go. You know what I mean?
I wouldn't even... I don't.
I'm going with the Raiders plus 4.5. I'm going to have to disagree with you.
I'm going
there,
Chargers,
Patty. All
and
right.
we'll see Monday.
All right, well, maybe you and I can have to put a one-on-one wager here. I like the sound of that. Maybe take me over to get a Corona Extra. Put a little Corona Extra on the line.
Yeah. Is that who's playing still? Easton Stick. Shout out North Dakota State.
Right now, Corona Extra bet, 4.5, Raiders Chargers. There you go. There you go. You just saw it right there. I'm going to enjoy a little extra lime on that one. Another one I like, Seahawks minus 6.5. Because what we said, well. Geno Smith needs a win to get $2 million. He needs to throw 200 yards to get $2 million. Playing against the Rams, who are resting their starters. Give me the Seahawks minus 6.5. And then we'll close it out with the 49ers plus 4.5 this weekend going against the Arizona Cardinals. Josh Dobbs revenge game.
Wait, Josh Dobbs is starting?
Yes, for the 49ers. Josh Dobbs is getting a start for the 49ers.
I'm hammering them. The astronaut is back, baby.
Yeah, baby.
The
Josh
astronaut
Dobbs
is back.
revenge game. So that's going to round it out for my picks this weekend. Pat, you got anything else?
The only game, this one I'm not saying lock it in, but the over in the Chiefs-Broncos game.
What's the number? Did you say?
40.5.
40?
40.5.
40.5.
Yes.
I don't hate that.
I
might
think,
tell you
again, the Carson Wentz highlight tape, Joshy. The Carson Wentz
It got
highlight
you.
tape, baby.
It was pretty good.
If the Chiefs can find a way to get to 20-something points, dude. I mean, the
think they
Broncos,
can.
I think they're going to go... I think they're going to match each other a lot in the second half. I feel like the first half might be a little low scoring. I think Carson Wentz
6-3 kind of halftime,
and then
7-6.
27, 24 type of finish, cover it by a point. That's what I'm thinking.
All right, so looking at this slate this weekend, right? It's very tough to judge. There's a lot of backup quarterbacks.
A lot.
I compiled the list of them. Josh Dobbs, Spencer Rattler, Mac Jones, Drew Lock, Joe Flacco, Cooper Rush, Dorian Thompson-Robinson, Mitch Trubisky, Carson Wentz, Snoop Huntley,
Dog.
Kenny Pickett, Jimmy Garoppolo. 12 quarterbacks.
going to be great to see that beautiful face again on the field.
Question for you, Pat, because it's a guy we've been talking about a lot this season. It's a guy we're going to be talking about a lot this offseason. It's Sam Darnold.
Sammy D.
There are a lot of people out there who had Sam Darnold National Treasure cleat cards,
Wrote him off.
Diamond Flawless Sam Darnold rookie cards. They sold them for pennies on the dollar, I imagine, Pat. Now they're reeling. Because, look, I don't think the Sam Darnold market's exploding like Patrick Mahomes.
No.
But I tell you what, you feel stupid if you sold that card right about now.
Yeah.
Out of those 12 names I just listed there for you, do you think there is any other Sam Darnolds out there? It's a tough one. I know. It's a tough one. If you had to pick.
Let me see that list one more time.
Yeah, Jimmy G, Pickett,
No,
Snoop Huntley, Carson Wentz, Mitch Trubisky, Dorian Thompson-Robinson, Cooper Rush, Joe Flacco, Drew Lock, Mac Jones, Spencer Rattler, Josh Dobbs. Is there any potential Sam Darnold kind of player on there?
That's a tough question. Great question. Tough question. If I had, I'm not gonna count Jimmy Garoppolo just because.
Why not? Why not?
He's what, 35
Probably.
now?
Yeah, he's probably pretty old. That's a good
still
point.
looking like a snack.
Still looking
Don't get me wrong.
fantastic.
Good looking guy.
I gotta look up his age.
If he's past 30,
33. Yeah,
all
he's
right,
33.
I'm not gonna count that just because
Fair
even
enough.
if he is having a Sam Darnold resurgent season, like nobody can really sign you to a long term.
Right, you're right.
Even
It's
Aaron
1 year
Rodgers,
at best. Yeah.
Spencer Rattler.
Okay.
Spencer
You
Rattler.
said that with like pain in your voice. You're like, Spencer Rattler.
Because I have a sour taste in my mouth of Spencer Rattler just because if anybody watches the Netflix series,
Quarterback? What is
yeah,
it?
it's when he was in a high school and he was on like a camp. He was super cocky and I hated him.
Everyone says
but
that.
dude, he has the talent. I feel like he didn't see the field well. Again, he played for the Saints. They're a dumpster fire, but.
He's looked better than I thought he would.
He looked better than I thought he would. And
I give him credit.
He has the intangibles to be a good quarterback. I don't know if I see a Sam Darnold type of season from him, but I think he could end up being a starting quarterback for a team a couple years down the road. Maybe even the Saints. You never know.
There's two names on
Not
this
Kenny
list.
Pickett. That's all I'll say. Kenny Pickett stinks, and it's a disgrace that he broke Dan Marino's record at Pitt.
There's two names on this list. Kenny Pickett's one of them.
You get the.
Well, no, because there's two guys here
I wonder why you're picking Kenny Pickett.
they have the Sam Darnold career arc. In the sense that Mac Jones, I think Mac Jones is my answer. to be
Mac
honest
Jones
with
would
you.
not be a bad one. He's a Pro Bowler too, so he's obviously has some type of talent.
I know there's a lot of folks out there, I know our guy Eric, shout out Eric McLaughlin, over here, one of the Boston boys, who I have sold Mac Jones cards to. Rookie season, they're going crazy. Oh, we got Mac Jones, we got our
That
quarterback.
Black Friday night, $100,000.
Exactly, that kid's feeling real smart. What was it?
That guy's not feeling too smart.
The 15-year-old kid who pulled it and sold it or something like that?
Yeah.
Exactly. Mac Jones card sold for $100,000 his rookie season, and now he's just been written off. And don't get me wrong, I'm not going to sit here and beat my chest and say Mac Jones is this fantastic quarterback, but I'm just saying we need to exercise a little more caution as hobbyists here when we sell these rookie cards so quick. And I'm not really blaming anyone for selling Mac Jones cards. Heck, I'm not blaming anyone for selling Sam Darnold cards. But just look at Sam Darnold here and let this be a cautionary tale for you that you never know. And it might be worth it every now and then to go on eBay and look at some of these guys who, like a Mac Jones, who showed you already in the NFL. Mac Jones can play something in the NFL. He took the Patriots, a pretty bad Patriots team, to the playoffs. Like, was it his rookie season or sophomore season?
Yeah, lost in the first round to Buffalo.
The Bengals, I want to say.
Buffalo.
Oh, okay,
Right,
whatever.
Ben?
Either way, he lost.
I think Ben would know that.
Regardless, I do think maybe it would be worth it to grab a Mac Jones card here or there. You put him in the right system, like a Minnesota team with some weapons. Who knows? Kenny Pickett last week, Pat? Not bad. You put Kenny Pickett on the Eagles with A.J. Brown and Saquon Barkley. He was looking pretty good. And then let's not forget his rookie season with the Steelers. He didn't look too bad either. So for those of you who are either holding Pickett, holding Mac Jones, and trying to offload it for $20,
I'd rather hold on.
maybe just learn a little bit from Sam Darnold.
Patience.
And practice some patience.
And don't forget, Sam Darnold started for one of the biggest markets in football.
That's what I mean.
20 years old. He
That's
wasn't
what I
even
mean,
able
man.
to drink yet. He was not ready. And the New York market, I'm from New York. They will beat you down.
And
they
they
will
should.
beat you down.
As
For
they
a
should
21-year-old kid who just made it to the NFL, accomplished his dream. Remember one of his first passes, pick six against the Lions on Monday Night Football. Like, he got beat down.
Never
he
had a
needed to build
chance.
his confidence up. And now that he built his confidence, we're seeing what Sam Darnold could have been in New York. And I think the Jets I always said it, the Jets gave up on him a little too soon, in my opinion.
I don't really remember how that ended, to be honest with you. How did it end?
It ended with, I think they just released him, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
he
like
was
how
only
many years did he play with
He
them?
played 3-4 seasons with them. I believe he was like 24 years old when they got rid of him.
Dude, Sam Darnold's 27 years old, by the way. I thought he was older than that.
Yeah, he spent a year
so
in
Sam
Carolina,
Darnold, like
San Francisco. I think going to San Francisco is the best thing that ever happened to him.
I'm just trying to think, right? Thinking about his next deal he's gonna get.
He's gonna get a 5-year deal.
Like this guy could still be. You think
He's
about
gonna
quarterbacks.
get 2 more contracts.
That's what I mean. Like quarterbacks play until they're at least, there's Aaron Rodgers is the anomaly. Drew Brees, Tom Brady, not everyone plays till 40. Let's say 35, 36 years old, you can still be a good quarterback in the NFL, especially the way Sam Darnold plays. It's not like he's getting himself
He
killed
doesn't
out
have.
there.
I mean, as long as his
You can
shoulder
see
doesn't get no shoulder injuries later in his career.
7 years more of Sam Darnold. So for those of you, I'm sorry, if there's someone who's got a flawless RPA of Sam Darnold and put it on the market for $30, might wanna think twice before listing any more Sam Darnold cards. And I think Mac Jones or Kenny Pickett could be candidates.
I don't hate that. I don't hate the Mac Jones one. Even though I hate Mac Jones, I don't hate that because he could turn his career around. But again, I think what helped Sam Darnold is going to a team like San Francisco, where you got to see a good team with a good coaching staff and an offense.
Good weapons.
Good weapons.
Yeah.
And in a timing offense like Shanahan's that really like pinpointed a lot of what he needed to work on. Mac Jones has to get out of Jacksonville because you're not going to fix nothing in Jacksonville. I mean, granted, you're sitting behind T-Law who...
Don't open the can of worms, man. We'll save this. We got a long off season to discuss
I'm not
that.
gonna open
all right?
that one, but
yeah, no, I hear you. I'm interested to see if any of these backups kind of raise their stock because this will be your lasting impression of some of these guys going into the offseason.
Last thing you can throw on tape for a lot of these non-playoff teams.
There is motivation for some of these players in Week 18, and quite frankly, I eat it up, and I hope I'll hit some of these sloppy, degenerate bets I got going on this weekend. This has been a crazy week. I haven't been doing my halftime stories a ton this week. Pat, I don't know if you've seen them. We do a little thing called halftime where basically kind of breaks up the show, and it's kind of like random, silly stuff. One of my favorite things this time of year is college football bowl games. And I know college football bowl games stink. I don't actually love watching some of these, like the Gasparilla Bowl. What I love is how creative these companies get
Oh my goodness,
in terms of their marketing for their bowl games.
Yeah.
And the Pop-Tart Bowl has stolen the show. The Cheez-It Bowl is now...
I was at the Cheez-It Bowl 2 years ago, actually.
The Cheez-It Bowl is now, starting to get it. There was a wedding at the Cheez-It Bowl. I don't know if you saw that.
I mean...
But the OG bowl game, the Duke's Mayo Bowl. Yes.
The Mayo Bowl.
There is an Associate Press article that is hilarious. It gives a deep dive into the preparation required for the Duke's Mayo Bowl
Stop it.
Mayo Bath. It says there's plenty of preparation that goes in the annual Mayo Bowl dump. Staff members begin by pouring 5 1-gallon containers of mayonnaise into a large Gatorade-sized cooler around the start of the fourth quarter. Then they take turns stirring the mayo for more than 25 minutes with a large wooden stick. I just got to imagine being like, oh, honey, good news. I got the mayo job. You know what I mean? Like, you're in between jobs. It's like, I'm just trying to make ends meet. Oh, good news. I'm head mayo stirrer at the Duke's Mayo Bowl. Oh,
Honey, what did you do at work today?
Of you,
Stirred some mayo.
They say the stirring changes the consistency so it's more pourable. Duke's Mayo brand director Rebecca Lupesco said, "Some people think we add water. There's no water added, just straight mayonnaise.
Can't dilute that mayonnaise, baby. Can't do that.
We stir it up. It can be a real workout." This is the Duke's Mayo Bowl head of as tradition has it, the winning coach seated on a chair gets dumped by mayo. It's a process that needed refining over time. In 2021, one of the handles fell off and they absolutely nailed the head coach in the head.
Oh my gosh, I remember that one.
They said, since that incident, we now hand-pick our mayo dumpers. Last year, we did a mayo combine.
What do you gotta have on the resume to be a mayo
They
dumper,
did a
dude?
mayo combine, Pat, where 10 people were selected to come and compete to be mayo dumper. They had to do deadlifts.
How do you train for that?
They do deadlifts with buckets of mayonnaise, catch footballs with their hands lathered in mayonnaise, and they
that
had
do
to
with
make
anything?
sure those people were strong enough. This year's mayo dumper will be a surprise. They had 2 pourers practicing by dumping buckets on dummy coaches.
Oh my goodness, dude, this is getting a little out of hand, dude. Just
There you
dump the mayo. You know, there's no. Hey, babe, where you going? I got to practice dumping mayo. You know, I got a big job coming up this weekend. It's like, dude, just flip it over. How hard can it be?
You can't, because in 2021 we almost had a mayonnaise fatality.
Yeah,
Pat.
yeah,
we take the Mayo Bowl very seriously, and tonight. We will get to see a new Mayo Bowl crowned champion, Minnesota against Virginia Tech tonight. One of these teams will have the pleasure of having mayonnaise dumped on them. I am too. That's not an official play, but
I might actually tune into the show. I might switch that to an official play.
All right, there you go. If you are bored tonight, Friday night, some of you having fun, some of you, keeping it light. Get in with us. We're going to be ripping luminaries tonight. Watch some mayonnaise bowl. Now that you know the preparation that went into picking the mayo dumper tonight and the hard work that goes into the mayo bowl. Hop on in. Get a little luminaries, 8 o'clock tonight, and we're going to be watching the mayo bowl. So there you go.
I'm watching that mayo bowl for sure.
All right, Patty C. It is a New Year's season, and every New Year's people do the whole New Year's resolution thing. I quite frankly hate it.
I don't do it either.
I hate it. I think a lot of people hate it, but granted, there's a ton of people doing it. So I did this with Christmas. I did my sports Christmas list, but this year, 2025, I want to do my sports New Year's resolutions.
Okay.
My first New Year's resolution in the 2025 sports year is to start watching a little more hockey. I don't know about you. I have watched almost zero hockey in my life. Being a Philadelphia Flyers fan, Matvei Michkov.
Yep.
He's an absolute the comrade from Russia.
Yeah.
I gotta start watching some more hockey. That's my New Year's resolution, is get a little more invested in my hockey. And anyone watching at home, please let us know your sports New Year's resolution. Quite frankly, I don't give a damn about you wanting to lose 10 pounds. Respectfully, we all want to lose 10 pounds.
We all want to do that.
I want to know your sports New Year's resolution. Patty C, what do we got? LPG, what's going on? Good morning. Patty C, what you got a sports New Year's resolution?
I like that hockey one. Unfortunately, as a Predators fan, not a good idea for me to start watching hockey. We stink this year. I got one. All right. Now that I live in an apartment, it's gonna be to try not to get so angry when my teams lose. I think that's always been a big problem of mine. I think I got to start working on my anger a little bit.
Oh, boy.
When my teams lose. I'm taking it worse than the players are at this point in my life.
I think there's a lot of people who could take a page out of your book there, and admittance is a first step.
Exactly.
Hey, LPG with a shot fired saying they lose a lot, Pat. Let's go, LPG.
The Knicks don't.
Yeah, have fun, Tom Thibodeau. If the Sixers play their players 48 minutes in the regular season, they'd be winning a whole lot more also. LPG,
wait, what happened in the playoffs last year?
Let us know,
what happened in the playoffs
if you got any New Year's resolutions, LPG. They won.
What happened? Who did they beat in the first round of the playoffs last year?
The Knicks beat the Sixers pretty bad.
Thank you.
And then what happened to the Knicks right afterwards? They all got hurt. They all got hurt.
Jalen Brunson broke his hand.
I know.
And I'm not going to say any bad words, but your center, who should be deported back to Canada, injuring Mitchell Robinson.
Wait, why are we?
Isn't he Canadian? Or is he? Where is he from? Wherever he's from, get him out of here. Kick him out of this country. Guy's a loser. Joel Embiid. Bum.
He's from Cameroon.
I don't even know what that is. I don't know what that means. Is that a vacation spot?
Where's Cameroon?
Cameroon?
Yeah.
Texas. No. I don't know.
There's no way.
Dude, I have no idea what you're talking about. I've never heard of this place.
You've never heard of Cameroon?
Never heard of it.
All right. This next time we're on together, we're doing a whole. Because Conlon tried to warn me. By the way, Conlon was like, "Dude, this guy doesn't know. This guy doesn't know where anything is."
I have no idea.
And I didn't do this on purpose. It just came up organically.
Yeah, dude, I don't even know what.
First of all, I feel like you can't say deport Joel Embiid to Cameroon. That seems very rude, to be honest with you.
Deport Joel Embiid to Cameroon? Wherever the hell it's called. wherever he's from.
Second of all, my New Year's resolution is to invest a little more into the 76ers because I watched on Christmas Day against the Boston Celtics, and I saw with my new American, Team USA, Joel Embiid.
Get out of here. Get out of here.
Beating the Boston Celtics.
Well,
and I said to myself, maybe they're not so bad. Now, since then, they've lost 2 straight. But I want to give the Sixers a little more of a chance. LPG says, ask him to say Roro.
Roro. Roro. It's a dumb word, too. I don't even know what that means.
I'll give you credit.
Isn't it like farmland?
Yeah, no, you got it. Yeah, it's
Okay.
like farm. It's like farmland. Yeah, and it's like what? Ben, how would you describe
What are you
rural?
laughing over there?
It is like farmland.
It's a funny way to put it.
But he's not wrong. Is it like farmland? Look, I will give you one thing. It is a hard word to say,
Bro.
but like, dude, rural.
Bro. Dude, it's a dumb word. I'm not from a rural area, so I don't know what to say.
I feel like Poughkeepsie's like low key rural. Like,
Poughkeepsie?
yeah, like, it's not urban.
I would say it's not urban, but there's no farmland in Poughkeepsie.
What's going on, Alan? Good morning.
Rural though. I mean, that's just like where I'm gonna stop saying that word.
Yeah, you're gonna get yourself in trouble there. Yeah, it's not rural. All right, another New Year's resolution I have in the sports calendar 2025: go to an SEC football game.
Ooh,
now
like
that
that.
we're living down here in
I like
Florida,
that.
I've never been to an SEC game. The best college football game I was at, Rutgers Washington this year, Friday Night Lights. It was a fantastic game. It was Big Ten football. It was a blackout sellout crowd. But if I thought that was good, I got to get myself to an SEC
Yeah,
football game.
I want to get to
a
enjoy. I want to get to a Georgia game. I've been to a couple bowl games. I've seen SEC teams playing, but I've
Doesn't
never
count.
been
Doesn't
to a
count.
full-on SEC
Yeah.
battle. I like that. But there's one I will not go to that crappy stadium in Florida, Gainesville. All right, because I hate the Gators. As a Georgia fan, we hate the Gators. We eat Gator bites for breakfast. But I want to go actually to the Georgia-Florida game that they play in Jacksonville.
Yeah.
World's biggest cocktail party.
There you
That's
go.
what they call it. The
I
world's
like
biggest
that.
cocktail party.
Go see our good guy John Phillips Esquire up there in Duval. Now we're talking.
Duval.
You got any more resolutions here in 2025 in the sports calendar, Pat?
Just that's basically it. Maybe read a map.
Yeah, maybe read a map. Go work on some pronunciations here.
Yeah, learn how to say that dumb word.
Yeah, rural.
Bro,
It's not that hard.
my golf game's got to get up. Golf game's got to get
All
up.
right, you and me both. We got to get our golf game up now that we're
mean,
living down here in sunny
yeah.
Florida.
Ben was lucky. I was rusty that day. That's all I'll say.
Oh, yeah?
First time on the course in 2 years, and he took advantage of me. Hey, yo.
Hey, yo, come on now. Family show, Patty C. Pat, so we got luminaries. We're going to be ripping luminaries today. I assume you've looked at the checklist, my friend.
Of course. Of course.
So I was first of all, luminaries for me was the first product that I ripped personally that kind of like desensitized me to the hobby in a way where I was like, oh, because like beforehand I'd ripped like Cosmic, like
Yeah.
Series 1, like
Don't get Connie started
Chrome,
on that.
You know what I mean? Like that is all I'd ripped before. Luminaries was the first product I ever got my hands on where I was like, oh wait, it's like this?
This
like
is,
it can get like this?
A little bit fun, all hits, no fluff, obviously.
No fluff,
One
man.
card, 6 cards. I mean, there's only 6 cards a case
Yeah.
this year.
So looking at the checklist so far, Pat, let me know what's stood out to you here.
Obviously, the booklets. I got to say the booklets. The Home Run Kings booklet is monstrous. I mean, you're talking about 40 of the biggest names from the sport, all signing on a single card. I actually believe it's 50 names, if I counted correctly.
trying to see here.
Monstrous card. And they also have the Ultra booklets. Like, there's a Masters of the Mound Ultra booklet that has some serious names on it. Every
ridiculous.
single name on the Masters of the Mound booklet is a Hall of Famer. The only 2 Hall of Famers not on it, Shohei and Kershaw, 2 guys going to the Hall of Fame. So basically, it's going to be all Hall of Fame players on that Masters of the Mound.
I'm looking at
Ultra.
this. I'm looking at this Home Run Kings Ultimate book.
It's insane.
I don't even know where to start.
It's insane.
I think it's safe to assume that will be a redemption.
The Hit Kings was not.
The Hit Kings was not.
No.
Hit Kings was smaller though, right? Or
Hit Kings was 40.
okay.
Yeah, and it was not.
I can't even like wrap my head around. Like this is one of those things where it's like, what's the comp on those? It's like just frame it or something.
Just put
like
it up and just
put
get
it
a
up.
big frame and hang it across your wall.
I'm looking at
you
this.
can't comp those.
What's the Masters of the Mound? I'm trying to see some of the other names on there.
Masters of the Mound is like Pedro Martinez, Clay Shaw, Clayton Kershaw, Shohei Ohtani. Who else they got on there?
All right, we got Mariano Rivera, Clayton
well-
Kershaw, Randy Johnson, Greg Maddux, Sandy Koufax, Steve Carlton, Nolan Ryan, Roger Clemens. Yeah, that's it right there. But my goodness, let's talk about ceilings. As far as ceilings go, luminaries certainly up
Oh my
there.
gosh, yeah.
Anything else stand out to you? Is there any like spots that you saw while you were looking at it?
What really stood out to me was from what I've seen, like with the new packaging in the cards, if you remember how Luminaries was, it was in that one touch with like a fold over. Now it's almost in like, it almost looks like a PSA slab.
Yeah.
With like it'll say
That's
like,
what you were saying about it. Ben
it'll
noticed
say
that
like
yesterday,
home run
too.
kings, like where the PSA slab would be, and then like the card would be like in a slab. I got to see it in person to get my final thoughts on it, but I kind of like the change. Get it out of those one touches. A lot of people hate one touches as well.
Yeah, I know that always blew my mind. I personally like the one touches.
I never had hate, but like obviously being in like, it looks like an actual slab. That's a little bit better for the card to keep that card in great condition. If graded, you want to get that Jemmy 10.
I'm just looking at some of these rookies here on the checklist who signs. It looks like Skeens
is signing.
4 times.
He's not redemption. From what I've seen,
confirmed.
I've seen him come out with an autograph. So,
all right, Chorio. I know Chorio's got 4 in here.
yeah, Chorio's.
Ellie. Let me see what Ellie's got in here. Ellie, I believe, is gonna have 9 different autos in here. Ellie's been signing, man.
Yeah, man.
Ellie's been signing more than any of those rookies.
Yeah.
I gotta say, give him some credit.
He's been on it. He's been on his stuff, man. He's been on his stuff.
Just kind of like doing a run of the round here, looking at the checklist. It's just so hard to really like break it down because it's all hits. Not like it's like there's one thing better
Everything's numbered to 15 or less.
And then the cut autos, man, because
Come on, dude. The bat knob booklet cuts. That's another one that's insane. So it's in it.
Checklist for the bat knob book cut autos here. Hank Aaron, R.I.P., Kirby Puckett, Lou Brock, Mickey Mantle, Tony Gwynn. Those are going to be your cut bat knob autos. And then they did it again. They heard me say it was the card of the year, I guess. And they said, yeah, we're going to run it back. Hank Aaron, Willie Mays cut auto.
Yeah.
The other one that gets me, Roger Maris, Mickey Mantle cut auto.
That's insane, dude.
Like,
that's
I
legitimately insane. As a Yankees fan, that is insane.
As a Phillies fan, that's insane. I mean, Mickey Mantle, Roger Maris, like, you do not get much better. And then Hank Aaron, Willie Mays, as far as just putting the greatest of all time.
Willie Mays is the GOAT.
One card. Yeah, man. And
That's
just
my opinion.
Having both of those two legends pass this past year and then being able to hold that piece of, there's cards that I think to me where it's like, wow, that's a great collector's item. Oh, wow, that's my PC. And then there are cards where you're like, I am holding a piece of history.
Yeah.
And
I would never sell a Willie Mays cut auto. Like I
Exactly.
would. I think he's the greatest player that's ever played the game, in my opinion. So.
And to me, I mean, that's the Willie Mays, Hank Aaron, the dual cut auto. To me, is like that's a piece of history right there.
I mean, absolutely, 100%.
Patty C, you got any other like different teams you're looking for? Any value teams? Any like anything that you're personally looking at that might not be like obviously like the cut autos are crazy, the booklets are crazy. Was there anything smaller, like more like a value? Value in Luminaries is like an oxymoron.
That's what I'm saying. Like the value. I mean, just if you're looking for value, look at like some of these vets.
Teams.
I like go after some vets, guys like J Ram that don't get like the love that they deserve.
J Ram does sell decent though.
He sells decent, but he still should not. He's, in my opinion, the most underrated player in all of baseball.
Yes.
Like, he gets nowhere near the respect that he deserves. I mean, dude, he is the heart and soul of that Cleveland Guardians team. Let's be honest.
Especially now that Josh Naylor's gone.
Yeah, and they were one of the best teams in baseball all season long.
I'm trying to think of who else is underrated. All right, I got. So you said J-Ram?
J-Ram.
I would say Kyle Tucker.
Kyle Tucker's a good name.
As underrated as they get. You got another one here? I'm just now we got into this debate a couple weeks ago, and I left J-Ram off the list, and I was like, are you kidding me?
J-Ram is the
That's
most
how underrated he is that I left him off the list, is that I'm such an idiot. But yeah, I think I agree with you. J-Ram, most underrated player in baseball.
Yeah.
I think J-Ram and Kyle Tucker are the two.
Yeah, I like Kyle Tucker as well.
Being underrated. All right, Pat. First Talkin Slab pretty much in the books. Whew. Heading into this weekend here. Are you going to be on this weekend?
Sunday.
Sunday. What time are you on Sunday?
During the day.
During the day. All right, so you're going to get out of here to watch the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah, I got to see who's coming in after me. Maybe they can jump in, because I get out of here at 5.
You want to hop in at 4:25?
4:25. Otherwise, we're going to need somebody sitting in the background with the sensor button, because Patty's going to be going crazy.
Get the heart monitor.
I'm not going to be sitting down that entire game, I promise.
Ah, boy. This is going to be fun. This is going to be a fun weekend. Appreciate you guys for hanging out with us today. If you missed it, you can catch the show on YouTube. See me guffawing over Carson Wentz, setting up the Bengals to make the playoffs parlay. Bengals money line, Chiefs money line. And who's the last one there? Jets money line. That's right.
I
my
wasn't
bad.
even gonna
All right,
say it because it's not gonna happen.
Plus 1800 is what you're getting on that for the Bengals to make the playoffs. We have luminaries for you guys, ladies and gentlemen. We will be ripping that today. Patty C on the one chair. Great weekend of football. Mayo Bowl tonight.
Yep, Mayo
Absolute
Bowl.
nonsense. Just remember when you see this, you could be at a bar tonight. You know, I don't know what you're up to. You're at a party. You see it on in the background. Someone's dumping mayo. You're
Those
gonna be
guys
saying
are
to yourself,
trained athletes.
trained professionals dumping that mayonnaise. But guys, thank you so much for joining us. Patty C making his slab debut.
Yep.
Pat, seriously, man, happy to have you down
Thank
here.
you, man.
Excited for
Super
what's
excited.
to come. Just to start. Big announcement, by the way. Stay tuned. Big announcement coming up later today on the Instagram. We're going to be doing something special on Talkin Slab next week. I'll give you a little hint. It involves some free cards for you guys. All right? And who doesn't like that? Thank you guys so much for joining us. We will see you on Monday. I will see you on Monday, but Patty C will see you right now. Have a great weekend, everyone. It's Friday. We made it. Last day of work. We'll see you right here. Sunco Sports. Adios.